this is Amy. Thanks so much for stopping by. Today I'm going to be using a brush that I've never done a video on, and it's called a double filbert. And this is a Loew Cornell double filbert brush. It's a number 10. I'm going to be using one of my Magic flat brushes, and that's a number 6. And then a number 4 Deerfoot Stippler. The paint I'm using today for this design is Moon Yellow, Pale Yellow, Wicker White, Classic Green, and Real Brown. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. Again, this is a double filbert. You could do this design that I'm going to do if you had just a regular filbert brush. That would be fine as well. Just have to do an extra stroke, I guess, to get the design look that I'm doing. Alright, I actually am using black cardstock. I cut it, folded it, and cut it to make it approximately a size that you would find when you're trying to create your own cards. Now I'm going to go ahead and just single load my filbert brush into the white. I just want to get it nice and fully loaded. I'm going to come up here and do a bud type shape with the filbert brush. And I'm just kind of using it on the side of the bristles instead of the front. Then I'm going to come over here and do just a partially opened, not a bud, but just a partially open flower. And just kind of go over it. If you want to put more color on it, you want it to be more opaque, that's fine. Go ahead and do that. Now I'm not tapping a center in here, so that's why I want to make sure it's covered nicely. But since I'm not tapping a center in. And then I'm going to put in a bigger bloom, and I'm just pulling in different directions these strokes. You can play around with the brush a little bit if you want, but I think it's nice, comes up with nice edges for the design when you don't put too much pressure on it before you start pulling. If you put it down too flat, then you're going to get rid of the little ruffly edges. You might take away from that a little bit. And it's okay if you like the look of it not being quite opaque, that's fine too, but if you want it to be more opaque, just go over it. That's all you have to do. Up here I'm going to do more of a littler variation. Now I like to try to put a little bit of a curve on it, just to make it look a little more natural. Like that. That's so cute. Alright, then I'm going to come in here and just keep creating. See, if you push it too hard, then you're going to get rid of the very end details. So I try to not push on it too much until I'm to the point where it's okay if that's not showing. If that makes sense. Thank you. Sorry about that. My air conditioning was running and it's very loud. Now, as far as how many petals you stroke into this flower, it really doesn't matter. That's up to you. I'm not doing any certain numbers. I'm really just more focused on creating the design. go. So simple to create your own cards. You know, why spend a ton of money on them, seriously, when you can do your own? And like I said, maybe even make them look like whatever item you've painted. Have it all coordinated. Very neat. Alright, so I'm going to leave the blooms like that. I'm going to take my little Deerfoot Stippler, hit the tip into the moon yellow, and hit the back end into the real brown. And then I'm just going to start putting in my center. And I can put in a little bit of the lighter yellow too if I want to kind of spruce it up a little bit with some additional color. I always tap my brush onto my plate before I put the paint onto the design, just so I'm not so heavy-handed. And then I keep working with it until I get it to look the way I want. Like I said, you can put a little bit of the lighter yellow in it just to give it a little more interest. And then we're going to do that. These are so cute. I really like this brush. I've had this brush for a while, and I really have not painted a design with it for a while. I mean, probably years, really. And then just keep working with your center until you get it exactly the way you want it. It's fine if it's not exactly the way you want it right off the bat. Trying to catch that little bit of brown that's hanging out down here. Alright, you can do the same here if you want to make it more uniform, like that. And then come here. I kind of like they don't all have to be going in the same direction, but I kind of like mine to make sense as to which direction I am placing them on the flower. That makes sense. At least I hope it does. And they don't all have to be the same either, because some of these flowers are a little bit bigger than the others. And here we go. Almost done with the centers. And again, just keep messing with it until you get it exactly how you want it. And of course, keep in mind too, you can also do little dots around them if you want. I'm not going to do that with these. I'm just going to keep them like that. Then I'm going to take my flat brush and dip it into my green and my yellow and a little bit of the light yellow. I can also darken it up a little bit if I want to stick some brown in it, but I'm going to keep it pretty light, I think. At this point, I'm just going to work on getting the stems put in. And the flat brushes are really easy to do that with. Definitely easy to do that with, especially if you've got a good flat brush that's, like I said, that the bristles are nice and firm. And I really do like this brand of brush. However, I haven't been able to find short handles. I'm not a big fan of these big long handles, because I feel like they get in the way, but I'm getting adjusted to them. And I'm just kind of doing some touch and pull and just pull them down here like that. If you want that a little bit thicker there, put it in there a little bit, and then come up here and then come over this way and pull it down. Just gives it a nice little smooth transition right into there, like that. And then the next thing, give this a, well, you know what, because I'm going to use the same brush, I'm going to touch this up just a smidge. I don't want to get green on here, but where I've touched my brushes a little bit, or my white a little bit, I'm just going to go over that a smidge, just to kind of fill it in a little bit. And this is where I say if you think it's not light enough or not filled in enough, you can go back over it if you want. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is take, it's the same Filbert brush, the double Filberts, and I'm going to put it into my green. Now you can, if you want, tip it into like some of these other colors, just to maybe get a variation so that it's not just a straight green. But then I'm going to come up and I'm going to just do an easy pull the stem down into, or the petal down into the stem, and then come back over here and do the same thing. And I just want to make sure that it's a little bit more opaque, because you can see the white a little bit here. I mean, that's okay, but I don't want it to be quite so obvious. Alright, and then I'm going to do the same over here. Hopefully you can see it. Turn this a little bit so you can see better. So I'm touching this and then I'm pulling it in, and I can go out a little bit of ways from it, maybe get it to angle in here a little more, like that. Pull it in and pull it in. There we go. And then come down here. Oh, you know what, I'm going to do the same here. Come here, pull it down, and then come here and pull it down. You see right here I lost my tips, so I'm going to come try to put those back in here. And then like that. Pull it down. And if you feel like you need any more in here, which I probably will go ahead and do that just to fill it in a little bit. And do it again, so I lost my tops again. I mean, how neat is that? Just perfect, really. Now I'm just going to come back up here because I want to add a little more interest into it, because I seem to lose the colors. It's only neat about working on paper that it's easier to go back in, add some color back over your original design. So it gives a little more interest. When you do this on glass, it may not be as easy because it might come off or cause your design to lift. Alright, so there we have it. Pretty easy, right? Let me get this down just a smidge so you can see it better. Alright. Put it back up. Alright, so here you go. Cute little card. Just get some cardstock, make your own. Very simple. Love this Filbert brush. Used it to make the leaves and the flower petals. And there you go. Pretty simple. Alright, if you like this video, make sure you give me a big thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, subscribe and hit that notification bell. And before you leave, hit that share button that you'll find underneath the video and share this on your social network with your family and friends. I would appreciate it. Alright, thanks again so much for taking time to view my video. I hope you stay well and healthy, and until the next time, you have a good one.